Okay, now nominations for the annual Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards, the YOBAs, are drawing to a close this week. So if you know of a brand owned by a South African between the ages of 18 and 35, you have to submit their details latest by Friday, the 21st. Now, the second edition of the awards will also be to host a two-day festival where youth-owned brands will be on sale. Well, to tell us more about it, the founder and CEO of the awards, Mahlangu, joins us now this afternoon in studio. Pat, welcome to today, and thank you very much for coming through.
Good afternoon, Prathen, and thank you so much for...
Are you excited for the second edition?
I am super excited. If I could dance, I would dance right now. But for the purpose of...
When you started this last year, you launched the first, the inaugural awards. Were you confident it will be a sustainable project?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe so much in the idea that to a point where I was willing to get into debt just to fund the idea. I was fortunate to secure some sponsorship, to see it through. But it's an idea that I think is of national importance, if I have to say so myself.
It takes a lot of courage because we were just coming out of the end of 2 years of hard lockdown through the pandemic, but you had this positive outlook.
Absolutely, and I think even during that period of lockdown, we've seen how resilient the youth is, particularly those that are owning brands. We've seen many stores of youth-owned brands being opened in that particular period.
Yeah, remind our viewers of the genesis of these awards.
So the Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards, powered by Standard Bank, are actually an initiative that is aimed at celebrating youth excellence. We celebrate brands that have demonstrated excellent work in terms of how they show up in the market. So over the past 2 years, I would say, the idea is evolving because it started from just being a list of top 16 youth-owned brands that we published in commemoration with June 16 on the Patron Brands website, to now actually having an awards show. And this year, again, we're taking it up a notch.
That's why it's called the Top 16. You mentioned June 16.
Yes.
So you're linking it to Youth Day.
Yes.
And will it always, is it your intention that it must always take place in June?
Yes, it will have to take place in June, otherwise it loses its sort of value. However, we're not going to host it on the 16th of June because you can imagine on that day the amount of noise that's really out there. But we own the 15th of June. So on the eve that shaped the history of South Africa, that's the day that we'll be dedicating to the youth.
There's a lot of commemorations happening, activities and speeches.
And also it's expensive to host an event on a holiday.
You've learned, but it's good. So how have young people responded? Nominations are open, they're closing latest Friday this week. How have the young brands or the youth-owned brands been responding?
I mean, the feedback that we've been getting ever since, so every event I go to, there's someone that comes to me and say, Pat, you have no idea what you did for us by putting that event together. And I think that the common feedback that we got was that this was a necessary cause, for young people in this country. Someone literally said to me, this is what we needed to keep us going, because some of them were not sure in terms of the businesses that they were building were actually brands or would turn out to be recognized someday. So the feedback has been really positive. And this year, last year we had a target of reaching about 500 nominations. So we fell short by, I think, 14 nominations. So this year, we actually have reached over 1,200 nominations. And this was according to the analytics that we drew 2 weeks ago. So the numbers are growing. So the nominations are coming in thick and fast, but obviously we're not going to recognize any nomination that's coming in. We're going to take the best of the best. So, yeah, I'd like to encourage
Are you putting together a panel of judges?
Yes, we have. Actually, this time around also we opened up the nominations for judges to the public to get them to get other people, that are interested in youth development. Because at the end of the day, this is a cause that really supports and moves young people forward. So anyone who wants to partner with us, even, for example, with the brands that have come on board, the likes of Standard Bank, have demonstrated interest in the development of young people. So, yeah.
One of the things you don't want to be accused of ever when you run this kind of public awards is it's favoritism or biasness. So have you got strict kind of criteria, and do the judges understand the importance of fairness and objectivity in making their decisions?
Absolutely. I mean, just last week we were finalizing the list of judges, you know, and some of the nominations that we received of judges, there were some controversial names, and everyone kept on asking me the question, are you ready to take on this risk? Are you sure about this person? Should they join this? You know, so credibility, the credibility of this platform is very important to us. Hence, also, we make use of an external auditing firm. So last year we had
that's important.
Yeah, Kumalo and Mabuya auditors auditing the results. So,
sorry, Pat, in the interest of time, that's a good one in terms of transparency and the integrity of the process. It's a 2-day festival this year. You didn't have an exhibition last year, from what I recall, but this year you're going to have one.
Yeah.
Exhibition. Who can come and showcase there? Is it only youth-owned brands?
Okay, so what we want to do actually is to have the largest number of youth-owned brands under one roof and at the richest square mile in Africa, that is in Sandton. So we'll be hosting the 2-day festival at the Sandton Convention Center. And really what we want to do is, the reason why we call it festival, not really an exhibition, because it's a mix of things. You know, we've got master classes, panel discussions that will be given, conducted by captains of industry. So sharing knowledge with the young generation and future generation of business leaders. And also we're going to have an entertainment section where we're going to plug in up-and-coming youth talent, you know, to entertain the people there, and also some government and corporates that have interest in the youth development space and to come and showcase what they can do for young
What's the date, those 2 days?
14 and 15 June.
So just before 16 June?
Absolutely, 14 and 15 June, and on the evening of the 15th of June is the big celebration, the Top 16, the second annual Top 16 Youth Owned Brands Awards, powered by Steiner.
Venue?
Sandton Convention Center.
Thank you very much. That's the founder and CEO of the Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards, or the YOBAs, as he calls them. That's Pat Mahlangu. Come the 14th of June, all roads of the youth-owned brands will be leading to the Sandton Convention Center. You can show your support if you believe in youth excellence and also in developing the future of our young people.